You guys, fungus is
Right.
contagious. It is contagious, just like a ringworm, just like head lice. I had a student, she was working in the
Mm-hmm.
salon, and then the salon owner kind of sort of pressured her to do a client.
Mm-hmm.
So they won't turn their money away. And the client, she's a certified ANT FNT, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she knew better. Like, they don't look right. We're supposed to tonight. I'm gonna have to send you to a podiatrist. I can't work on your feet. So the salon owner pressured her to do it, and tell me why my student got that fungus in her eye, and she had to go to the emergency room.
Wow.
She said it happened twice, and she finally left the salon. Because that's what I teach my students also. When you work in someone else's salon and you booth rent, or not booth rent, like
Mm-hmm.
commission, they're not going to let you turn away their money because you're there to help them make money. It's commission. You working over toes, feet, and it's fungus, and you're filing that fungus, which is highly contagious.
Yeah.
It can get in your eyes. You can go blind. Your mouth, your clothes. You're just infecting everything because you don't have any integrity. And I understand people think differently. That's my thing too.
Right.
No matter what I say or you say or state board say, people are going to think, well, they deserve to be beautiful too. They deserve to get acrylic toes too. Yes, but everything is not meant for everyone.
Exactly.
Polishing my hand, I'm ready to create each nail a masterpiece. I can hardly wait. Soft pastels or vibrant hues, each tells a tale in their artistry of nails. Nothing ever fails. With each swirl and twirl, let the magic begin in this kingdom of gloss. There's no end to the wind. Gloss on my fingertips, watch them shine bright. Painted like a canvas, colors taking flight. Feeling fierce and fabulous, I'm ready to ignite. Slaying the nail game every single night. Nails and beauty talk with Asia the Bird. Nails and beauty talk with Asia the Bird.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, we have a very special guest with us today. She is the founder of Stay Ready Nail Studio. Please welcome Miss Cynthia Cain. Hello, and how are you?
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. I'm
I'm
good. I'm
doing well
good.
as well. I'm doing good. I want to
Good.
go ahead and get started by asking where you're originally from and tell us a little about your upbringing.
Well, I'm originally from up north Louisiana, a small town right outside of Shreveport, about 30 miles outside of Shreveport. You never heard of it, but yeah, I'm from a small little country town. I am the oldest of four kids, two girls and two
Mm-hmm.
boys, and just born and raised in up north
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana.
I want to get into as far as school experience. So tell us about like your school experience, like grade school, college, university, beauty school, things of that nature, possibly.
So graduated high school, and you know, so after that, I just got interested in the nails. So my husband actually enrolled me in nail school. And so basically, high school, graduated from nail school in
Mm-hmm.
2015, went to instructor school, got my license for that in 2017,
Mm-hmm.
and I opened up the school 2019. Then I got my certification to be an advanced nail technician, advanced foot care nail technician, and I'm actually working on my medical/wellness nail technician course
Oh,
also.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. That's really, really incredible. Now, what were like your earliest memories in regards to like beauty and nails? Like, was there anyone in your family that was in the beauty industry?
Actually, no, I was thinking about that. And my mom, my grandmom, they were basically like plain Janes,
Yeah.
right? They never wore nail polish, of course, anything acrylic nails, no makeup or anything. So I actually think about that a lot. Like, where did I get all this from? And I remember, like, most kids watching my grandmother watching The Young and the
Right.
Restless. And I used to be, and I still am, rest in peace,
Mhm.
Miss Chancellor from The Young and the Restless. I remember watching her, Miss Chancellor with the long red press on
Mhm.
nails, the big big rings, always glammed
Mm,
up, talking smack. And I'm like, I like that. I like her. So I was actually watching the Younger Wrestlers all the time instead of going outside to play.
yeah,
And as I got older, I realized, I like stuff on my nails. I like fingernails. I like nail polish.
right,
So that's where I got it from. Because I didn't know my mom, like I said, she was a plain Jane. Then as I got older, also I realized my dad, his nickname was Hollywood because every time they saw him, he looked like he was going to a Hollywood movie set.
yeah,
So I'm like, oh, that's where I got my swag from. It's my
yeah, right.
dad. So yeah, that's how
Yeah,
that
yeah.
works.
I'm the same. I got like my style from my dad and stuff like that. So, it's like,
Yeah.
I love like, fashion and dressing up and things like that and have my own style and own
Yeah.
individuality. And it's very interesting where,
Yeah.
you have family members like, your mom, your dad, or whoever it is in your family, and you get certain attributes from them and it molds into how you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, most definitely. So I want to get into as far as like salon experience. Like, have you worked in a salon or owned a salon at one point?
Never. So what happened was I'm a retired postal worker. So when I retired, that's when I started really getting into nails and doing it myself because I got tired of people messing up my
Mhm.
nails. So when I went to school, I actually went to school because again, my husband, like, you like this, you'll be good at this kind of stuff. Go get your license. So I went to school just to get my license. Honest to God, I wanted to get my license so I can buy professional
Right.
products. And once I got my license, I came right back home, mess with that stinky acrylic and stuff. My husband like, what are you doing? Go get a job. I'm like, a job? Like, I'm retired. Like, I was, 13 years at the post office.
Mm.
I'm like, I'm in my 40s. I'm not gonna go work for nobody. I'm retired. I'm not doing it.
Right.
So I'm like, I got to do something because everybody kept stopping me because they kept seeing my nails. So I'm like, okay, let me go find me a suite because I knew I wasn't going to work in a salon. I knew that wasn't me to work in a salon with all these
Right. Yeah.
people having, the owner telling me what to do, who to work on. I'm like, no, that's
Right.
not me.
Yeah.
So I looked up and found and got a suite, and I just been having suites, my own private suite since then.
Oh,
Never worked in a
oh,
salon. I never owned one
yeah,
either.
yeah. That's incredible. That's really incredible. Now I want to get into as far as your nail school called Stay Ready Nails Academy. So tell us about your nail school and what was the decision behind having your own nail school?
Well, actually, that again something that fell into my lap. I wasn't planning this. I just wanted to retire and just do my own nails. I didn't want to do nobody else's nails.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to do me. I wanted a hobby. And everybody kept saying, stop calling it a hobby. You're good at it. You got a license. I'm like, oh, okay, I do y'all nails. So I started doing clients. And then everybody, was watching me on social media. They're like, you are good at this. No, can you teach me how to do that? So I'm like, that's when all the classes was popping back then. I'm like, yeah, I teach you how to do nails.
Right.
Then I started teaching classes, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop these classes because maybe one day I'm gonna get a school because people kept asking me, you need to teach this. I'm like, y'all, no, everybody was just telling me what I should do. I never did. I swear to God, I didn't plan none of
Right.
this.
Mhm.
I didn't. And folks like, you should teach. You a good teacher. You're doing these classes. I said, okay, you're right. Let me look into this school thing. And if it works out, I'm gonna stop doing these classes because I want y'all to enroll one day. So that's how I got into looking into getting to school, and it worked out. And I've been doing it for this year, 6 years, come November.
Yeah, that's really really cool. I also, it kind of reminds me of like, like certain stuff that like fall into your lap, like how the whole thing with podcasting. Like
Hmm.
my dad was like, you should have a
Yep.
podcast. I was like, it's like I don't know, but really four
Yep.
years in, 400 episodes later, I'm
Yeah.
like now I'm now, yeah,
You're
I'm
good
good
at
at it.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's the whole thing, like like how other people see certain things in you and say, hey, have you ever tried these
Hmm.
things or whatever it is. So you just never
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Yeah, so I want to get into as far as your own line of products. So you have your own line of products. So tell us about like, what made you start having a product line and what are some things you sell?
So I got my product line actually when I was in instructor school. I was sitting there actually, honestly wasn't learning much. I'm just sitting there just trying to get these 750 hours. And I'm like, it'd be dope to have my own products,
Mhm.
because I see a lot of people, got their own products. I wonder how they did that. So out of boredom, I started to research and research. I'm like, okay, that's how they get this. And that's how they found this. So I can get my own products. So I just started to take notes, doing research, ordering samples. And I'm like, okay, And my first product was my pink acrylic, my pinky acrylic that I have on my nails
Mm.
now. So I said, okay, let me try this. So I'm like, okay, well, let me get the polish, let me get the gel polish, let me get the color acrylic, let me get this and this and this. So I just did it again out of boredom to see, like most things, if I can do it, and it worked out. I'm like, well, okay, I got a product line. Yeah, because I figured that's kind of like a dream for some, nail
Yeah.
techs who's really serious in this industry. I'm like, okay, it'd be dope to have my own
Mm-hmm.
products. Let me see if I can do it. And then again, it worked out. I'm like, okay, got that. So I do sell cover acrylics, which is like a cover pink in the clear. I have the acrylic brush. I have the monomer. I have the buffers. I had sanding bands. I have files, gel polish, color acrylics, the primer, the dehydrator, basically what you need to get
Mm.
started.
So pretty much everything.
Yeah, nail tips.
Mm,
Uh
yeah,
huh.
pretty much everything. I want to also push forward and talk about more about. I want to get back into the nail academy. So, what are some of the things that the students learn, within the academy? What are some of the things that you teach in the academy?
So I teach first of all. I talk to them about theory. They don't realize that theory is first, and some young students, like what is that bookwork?
That's book work,
They
yeah.
don't realize that coming to school, it's not about, oh, I'm going to enroll, teach me how to do nails the first day, teach me how to do designs, teach me how to shape. I'm like, no, that'll come, but first you need to know
Yeah.
sanitation, which is really
Right.
important. You need to know theory, and theory is basically the book.
Mhm.
So it's just like a high school. We have books that we have to go through, a curriculum, and a lesson plan that we have to teach you guys.
Right.
So we have to teach them that, right?
Mhm.
And the main thing, I know we're gonna get to that question later, but the main thing is integrity. You got to have integrity in this industry if you want to go
Right.
further. Meaning that you don't do certain things just because people giving you money. Like, you need to know how to say no. All money is not good money.
Absolutely.
And I also teach them above and beyond, like, starting a business as far as getting their own salon
Hmm.
suites. If they want to do that, getting their own suite or a
Right.
salon. So I help them with that also.
Mm, yeah, absolutely, most definitely. So I want to get into as far as tariffs. So there has been conversation surrounding tariffs and how it would affect the beauty and nail industry. So what is your perspective on tariffs and how they affect beauty schools and just education in terms of just the beauty industry?
Well, tariffs doesn't really affect the beauty school unless the beauty school owner, like myself, have products.
Mhm. Right.
So of course, when we get those products and they come from China, y'all know what's going on with that. We will have to buy a big shipment of stuff, quantity, to try to keep the tariffs down.
Right.
So that also is a good learning lesson for us that have products. You don't want to get all of your products from China.
Right.
Thank God everything I have don't come from China. Some things, my most important things, come it's in the United
Right.
States.
Mhm.
So I want to make sure people understand that don't get everything from China, because you see what's going to happen. You want to be able to go drive and get your stuff if you have to. Get on the plane and go check on your stuff if you have to. You don't want to depend with everything on with China.
Right.
So as far as my products with China, like I say, thank God my main products doesn't come from over there.
Mhm.
So some things I may not be bringing back, like the gel polishes, the color acrylics, and a few other items I probably won't be bringing back if they keep playing around with these numbers, because
Right.
I don't have time for that.
Mm, right, absolutely, most definitely. I want to get into as
Yeah.
far as I want to push forward and talk about just licensing and state board, where you live. So, what is your perspective on licensing and state board regulations in your state, and what are things that state board could improve on coming from a nail educator point of view?
Okay. So in the state of Texas, for the manicurist curriculum is 600
Hmm.
hours. So it's basically up to the schools to depend on how soon or how further out you want them to
Right.
go. So now I have a full time, which you can be done as early as 4 months, and I have part
Hmm.
time. You can get done in 6.5 months. That's a lot of time. So I'm glad you asked that question, because some things that state board can improve in the state of Texas and all states is that you make students come to school, get their hours, pass tests, go to state board, and that's a lot of time and
Right.
money
Definitely.
for them to do that, to get their license, just to be, excuse my French, just to be shitted on, and state board is allowing all of these people on social media that's unlicensed
Hmm.
to do what they're doing, which is illegal. And my thing is, not a snitch, of course,
Right.
but all they have to do is go on social media and you can see what's going
Right.
on.
Mm-hmm.
I even talked to them about that. I'm like, why y'all, focusing on schools and inspections, which I get, I understand, and they only go to licensed nail techs when someone snitch on them or report them. But you continue to let people that's unlicensed that work out of their home, and it's on social media saying they work out of their
Mm-hmm.
home and doing the fungus toast and stuff. I know we're gonna get into
Right.
that. You allowing
Right.
that. If you just go on social media, you'll be able to see that. You can put a stop to that because it is so unfair.
Right. Absolutely.
So unfair for students to go to school, spend all that money, go to state board, and then you allowing so and so over here to be unlicensed.
Right.
They can do better with that. They can.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, and even with here in Maryland, I believe that the hours for nail tech is like 250. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, so the hours for me was like 1,500 in my state of Maryland.
Yeah.
So the thing is, one of the things that I could definitely agree that state board could be improved on as far as just the regulations, especially in regards to working on hands and feet, especially when it comes down to fungus and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Because yeah, there
Yep.
has been plenty of videos where people working over fungus, infections and stuff, and that's not good at all. So there definitely has to be more of and it is definitely not fair as far as the people who are getting the education and trying to be prepared for the nail industry the proper way. So definitely I believe what could be improved on is the ceasing of misinformation.
Mm-hmm. Right. And as far as
Right.
sanitation, so I know we're gonna get to the fungus again. So as far as the fungus, like I tell my students, and it's not because I'm saying it or everybody else is saying it or the Milady book is saying
Right.
it. You guys, fungus is
Right.
contagious. It is contagious, just like a ringworm, just like headlights. I had a student, she was working in the
Mm-hmm.
salon, and then the salon owner kind of sort of pressured her to do a client.
Mm-hmm.
So they won't turn their money away. And the client, she's a certified ANT FNT, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she knew better. Like, that don't look right. We're supposed to, like, I'm gonna have to send you to a podiatrist. I can't work on your feet. So the salon owner pressured her to do it, and tell me why my student got that fungus in her eye, and she had to go to the emergency room.
Wow.
She said it happened twice, and she finally left the salon. Because that's what I teach my students also. When you work in someone else's salon and you booth rent, or not booth rent, like
Mm-hmm.
commission, they're not going to let you turn away their money because you're there to help them make money. It's commission. You working over toes, feet, and it's fungus, and you're filing that fungus, which is highly contagious.
Yeah.
It can get in your eyes. You can go blind. Your mouth, your clothes. You're just infecting everything because you don't have any integrity. And I understand people think differently. That's my thing too.
Right.
No matter what I say or state board say, people are going to think, well, they deserve to be beautiful too. They deserve to get acrylic toes too. Yes, but everything is not meant for everyone.
Exactly. Right.
We are, again, licensed to tell them, I'm going to have to refuse your service. I can't diagnose you, but you need to go see a podiatrist. That's a foot doctor to get treated. And then once you get treated, then with a doctor's note, I can prepare you and your feet to look pretty with like poly gel or, some soft
Right.
gel. Not just plopping acrylic over fungus.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's highly contagious, you guys. So think about it.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's definitely something to yeah, that's dangerous. That's definitely dangerous.
And the thing is also, like you said, it's all over social media. Like, you recording it.
Mhm.
That's my thing. Like, it's illegal, and it's
Yeah.
contagious. So just like COVID, you closed schools down when COVID
Right.
came. They closed down salons. You can spread fungus too, you all, just like COVID.
Right.
So yeah, they definitely can get better with it
Mm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
by stopping that cross
Yeah,
contamination.
absolutely. Now, for those who may not know what a MNT is or FNT, what are those in terms of like positions in the nail industry?
Yeah, so in any state, as long as you're licensed, you could be a licensed cosmetologist or a licensed nail
Mhm.
technician. After that, you can go pick a company of your choice and enroll in their online school. It's all modules. It's all online. You just look at, like, at first you have to be an advanced nail tech. Advanced nail technician means that you work on a higher level than a regular nail
Mm-hmm.
tech. That means that you are qualified to look for certain diseases and nail disorders on the
Right.
nails,
Mm-hmm.
right? To see if you can service them, especially the feet. The feet is called a foot care nail technician, meaning that we are only supposed to, debride those thick toenails, right? Just clean it up, shape it up, um, do the callus on the feet, which is the hard part. We'll thin down the callus, hot towels, and send them to a podiatrist for treatment. We're not allowed to plop acrylic on those toenails. We're not allowed to get nippers and dig out ingrown
Mm-hmm.
toenails. That is for a podiatrist to do. Basically, we're here to just beautify the feet, which is, again, trimming, cutting the thick toenails down, giving them it's called a waterless pedicure, again, with warm towels. They don't get their feet soaked because they're dealing with clients they can have
Mm-hmm.
diabetes, they can have cancer, or any other type of ailments that will cause them to have neuropathy on their feet, where they can't feel their feet. If you know anything about diabetes, and they know too, any little nick on your feet, you won't heal, or probably take a long time to
Mm-hmm.
heal. Like I tell people, you don't want to get into the ANT, FNT, MNT program unless you are serious about it, because, again, you just doing it to be playing around. You can cause someone to lose their foot or a toe.
Mm-hmm.
And the medical nail tech, they changed to wellness, meaning that you do the ANT, you do the FNT, and the MNT is when you can intern with a podiatrist for 40
Mm-hmm.
hours, and then you're qualified to work inside of their office, meaning that once the podiatrist, they got the ingrown
Right.
toenails, and once they heal, then they'll send them to you to, like, beautify their feet and put, again, like a soft gel or a polish gel on their toenails and polish, and that's it.
Mm. I want to get into as far as nail products. So, what has been some of your favorite nail products to use on your nails, especially for nail art, things like that?
Well, basically for me, as I get older, I'm just sticking to my cover pink acrylic that's on my website.
Nice and pretty.
My top coat, just real simple now. So all of these items can be found on my website, which is StayReadyNailsAcademy.com. So I am the long nail lady. I do wear long nails, but this hand is short because when I teach, I want them to be able to see, what I'm holding in this hand. Instead of with this hand, see, you won't be able to see
Mm.
much. So I try to wear two different lengths.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what's your favorite nail shape. So I guess it's both nail shapes.
Yeah, it's actually stilettos. Actually, it's long stilettos. I'm just trying out this shape,
Mm.
just to be doing something different. But my husband, he loved long nails. He looked at my hand last night. He said, "This hand too short." I said, "I know this my teaching hand, but I got to have a little length." So I tell the students, pay attention to what I'm doing. Don't look at my nails. Pay attention to what I'm holding, how I'm holding that brush. Right. So yeah, I got to have some length and some long
Yeah, yeah. I
stilettos.
like the square on you. It looks good on you.
Yes, it's growing on me. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I like the square. I want to get into as far as just with your perspective as far as the nail industry as a whole. So, where's your take as far as the nail industry? As far as what are some of the things you like about it? What are some things you think could be improved on besides the state board regulations and things like that?
Yeah, I was gonna say also another thing I was gonna say is, as far as Texas anyway, and a lot of other states. Well, me
Mm-hmm.
personally, it's 600 hours, and I tell students all the time at orientation, you're paying because you're gonna get a great education, and you have to be enrolled for 600 hours because that's state board rules and regulations. But I tell them, the way I teach, I don't need 600 hours. That's really, to me, is too long.
Mm-hmm.
With the curriculum that we have, I could get you through two books in 350 hours. And that way you'll go ahead, get your hours released, go to state board, pass your written exam, then you'll pass that, pass your practical exam, then you'll get licensed. But they in here just bored and trying to figure out what to do because they're trying to get to 600 hours. That's really too long. Like 350, that's
Yeah, yeah.
enough.
350. Yeah,
But that's enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 350 to like 400 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then again, just looking on social media, and I'm just saying, if you say it's illegal to do it, what you gonna do about it? Because I had even contacted the state board one
Mm-hmm.
time, and they told me basically, well, you would have to do say something. I'm not your snitch. No, I'm not doing it. That's why I talk a lot on here and educate people, because young ladies and guys do look up to me.
Right.
So that's why I do a lot of content on education for free. Like, y'all, you need to get a license. Y'all, fungus is
Right.
contagious. Y'all, you shouldn't be doing this. Y'all, you shouldn't be doing it. So I'm
Mm,
always trying to get back in that way and let them know that you got to stand out and just get your license.
absolutely, most definitely. Now, what are some things you like about the nail industry?
What I like about it is I tell all, because everybody want to be their own boss. I want to be my own boss, so I tell them all the time. So that's my marketing. I'm like, okay, y'all, you can be your own boss, which is true. Set your own
Right.
hours. Go in when you want to go in. Get off when you want to get off. I show them how to schedule their clients so they won't be a slave behind the chair. So I tell them in the beginning, you want to work 7 days. If you ain't got nothing else to do, like I did, I work 7 days because what else I'm gonna do,
Right.
right? You work 7 days, get them in, have them like you, trust you, and know you. And then after that, then you'll take your weekends back. Or you'll cut back and say, well, I'm only working these days. And now you have clients that's going to work with you around your schedule. That's a good thing about it. Again, you can go on vacation when you want, make as much money as you want, take off when you want. There's no putting in a slip for a vacation, denied.
Right.
Can I have doctor's appointment, denied. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you work around your own schedule, and that's a good life. I love being a nail tech.
Mm,
I love, because again, I was at the post office 13 years, constantly asking, "Can I be off?" No. My back hurt. No. Like you can rest when you want to rest. Do
right.
basically what you want to do and schedule your own
Yeah,
schedule.
absolutely.
That's what I love
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
absolutely, most definitely. And the thing also too is not only being your own boss, but also there's so many products that are out now. There's so much to really be creative with nails and things like that. And of course, absolutely, the foundation and the health and safety is very, very important. Absolutely. I
Right.
think what's the most rewarding thing is that the industry is always evolving and always changing, and things are always shifting.
Mm-hmm.
But also, there's a lot of trends that leave and come back. So that's I think that's
Yeah.
the beauty about it.
Like the curved nails, like the
Yeah.
long, the 90s nail, that they coming back. So I'm looking at my hand like it's not curved enough. I might have to do another set. But yeah, there's always some things, like you said, come
Yeah,
and
yeah,
go.
absolutely. And I want to ask this question: like, do you feel like Black women get enough credit in the nail industry?
No,
Mm,
no, really don't. And it's sad because we have to stand out more, and meaning that we have to, like I tell people all the time, I'm on social media because you know you want to have people see
right,
you, because we don't get the respect we deserve.
agreed.
A lot of things that I don't want to say we invented, but a lot of things came from the motherland. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
and we don't get credit for that. So like I tell people, okay, what you gonna do? Sit back and complain, or get on here like I am on all social medias and talk, so they can know you. I mean, that's just my personality. Let
yeah,
them know you. Go out to all of these events. That's what I tell my students also. You got to get off of social media, because if social media closed down today, half of y'all won't make any money because they don't know how to find you.
right.
Got to go to these events, and again, so they can remember you, just like you remember me and come to this
Yeah, yeah,
podcast.
yeah, absolutely, most definitely. And the
Yeah.
thing is, when I first heard of you, it was like you did a live with Miami Ashley, and you talked about nail industry things,
Hmm.
things like that. And then I got to know more of you on TikTok, so that's how I got familiar with you and things like that. So yeah, definitely is connecting with people in multiple ways, not just social media wise.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I want to get into as far as just with mental health and everyday life. So how do you balance being a nail educator with life and mental health?
Man, I just recently was burnt out. I didn't realize. I'm like, man, I'm just dreading coming to my own school. I'm like, I'm just tired. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I used to wake up, be happy, like, yeah, let me go teach, let me go, to the school, and then it got to the point where I'm just like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And I'm
Mhm.
like, what is going on? I'm like, oh my God, is this burnout? Like, is this what's going on? And what happened is, this is my baby. Like,
Right.
this is my business.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me, as my personality and as a Virgo, it's hard for me to ask for help.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like I am a perfectionist,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I want everything to
Yeah.
be right. And I feel as if in my mind, it's not going to be right unless I do it.
Right.
And it's hard for me again to ask for help. My students always, Miss Kane, you want me to do this? I don't know why. I'm like, no. They're like, no. Like, Miss Kane, let me sweep that up. I said, okay, fine. And I'm like, why am I like that? So again, I'm the only instructor up here for since the school been open.
Right.
I try to take a few weeks here and there between semesters, but I've been nonstop enrolling again since almost 6 years. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm burnt out.
Right.
So
Mhm.
finally, this semester that starts on the 19th, I'm going to be hiring two student instructors to help me. So I won't be up here as much, so I can take breaks
Right.
to go get more
Yeah.
massages, get more fresh air, just, take care of me.
Mhm.
So yeah, you have to really, basically, you can't do it all.
Yeah.
You can't do it all.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been experiencing. So I feel better. I'm back and
Well, that's good.
refreshed and ready to, yeah, thank you, and ready to hire and get some help.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that I continue to try to do my best to understand, or to really say, hey, don't be afraid to ask for help and things like that, because I'm kind of the same way.
Hmm.
I have that, perfectionist type of vibe, but I try to kind of switch
Yeah,
it and say like, hey, I want things to be just right. Not like perfect, but just right
yeah,
and things
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So definitely I can relate to that. But also too, just as far as just with the nail and beauty industry, I do feel and I can agree that black women or black people don't get enough credit as far as the contributions to the beauty and nail industry. And
Right.
especially with hair, with nails and stuff, like we have made these things mainstream more so here in America, at the hair color
Hmm.
hairstyles and hair
Yep.
shows, the barbershop,
The
the
long
long
curved
curved
nails, the '90s
nails,
nails.
the different type
Yeah.
of designs and stuff like that. So it is definitely a long way to go as far as us getting more credit as far as the beauty and nail industry.
And you know how we is now, like, forget trying to give us more credit. We're gonna get our own
Right.
magazine. So we need more of our own magazine. So I'm proud of you. Thank you for having this podcast to get more nail techs on
Yeah,
here,
absolutely.
more beauty professionals on here. So again, we'll make our own table. We're not invited. Let me make
Yeah.
my own table. Let me cook the dessert. Let me cook the dinner. We'll bring our
Yeah,
own.
absolutely, most definitely. And that's something that the more that I've done these interviews and this podcast, the more I've realized I said, this is bigger than me. You know what I mean? I want to
Hmm.
highlight different people, and I want to give different people a shine, give different perspectives, and have raw conversations like
Right.
these because I think it's much needed in the industry because I think the conversations that are in the industry now is cool, but it's very surface level. It doesn't go in depth as far as the different facets of the nail industry. You know what I mean? In
Yes.
regards to, with business, marketing, the whole thing when we talked about the fungus and stuff like that. So I think we need
Yes.
those conversations to really push the industry forward.
Yes, yes, because again, I tell my students, like I said earlier, sanitation is the first thing I
Right.
teach. Like, you need to understand, like, those buffers y'all using, that's porous. You use that one time, you broke the seal on it, you have to throw it away. You're not supposed to do what you see everybody else doing and keep using the same buffer. It is what it is.
Right.
Like, it's law. You're supposed to throw it away. Those hand files, it's a one-time use.
Hmm.
I don't care if you don't touch the skin. You broke the seal on it. You filing some nails. Half of the grit is gone anyway. Throw it
Hmm.
away. Stuff like that can cause cross contamination,
Hmm.
infection. Like I said, I see people cutting on ringworms, warts.
Mm.
I'm like, you don't know a wart is contagious? Like, yeah. So again, that was worrying about COVID, which is a good
Wow.
thing. But what about closing these salons down and doing a thorough inspection to see if they're sanitizing right? Because again,
Mm.
stuff is being spread, I know for a fact, in the nail industry because of cross contamination. That's on the state board exam, cross contamination. And you're gonna sit there and let people on social media record all day doing stuff over fungus. Like, something has to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
done. So my job is just to teach and educate and just leave it. No,
yeah, yeah, and
do what I can
yeah.
do.
Not only that, I've seen people like pop nails off and stuff like that. You shouldn't do that either because that weakens the nail.
Exactly. And once again, it comes back to theory. Your nail plate. So that's another thing, one of my pet peeves. And again, people just don't know.
Right.
Your actual fingernails, right? That's your nail
Yeah.
plate. That's not the nail bed. The nail bed is way
Yeah.
underneath. Your nail plate is like a biscuit, like a croissant. It has different layers
Right.
on it. So you keep prying off your nails, putting the nail tip, prying it off. You might not see it, but you are prying off layers of that croissant.
Right.
And eventually your nail is going to be just like an eggshell. It's going to be just like this piece of paper thin.
Yeah, paper thin. Yeah.
And then eventually you won't be able to even hold acrylic. You're going to wonder why. Like my nails are coming off easily because you don't have anything for it to stick to.
Right.
It's just like a wig and lace. You have to remove that stuff carefully to keep your edges. You just keep prying it off, you're not going to have no edges. It's the same thing with
Mm-mm.
nails. Know your theory. Stop being a follower. Do your research. Listen to me and other people that's
Right.
actually teaching you guys right. Know about products that's illegal. In all 50, and that's another thing, in all 50 states, and not just me saying it or you saying it, in all 50 states, you guys, the FDA says monomer, which is the MMA,
Right.
is illegal.
Yeah.
It's illegal. MMA monomer is for dentists use when they make teeth or your
Right.
crown or dentures or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's purple, just like the stuff we use. It's highly it just smells bad, it's strong, it's illegal because they say it. That's not it's not for the nails. We have EMA monomer that's for the
Right.
nails. But just because MMA is cheap or someone says, "Oh, it's not it's okay." Well, you're gonna listen to that, or you're gonna go by what the FDA say and your health,
Yeah.
right? I tell my students all the time, just because somebody, doing drugs or whatever, oh, it's okay. You gonna try it too? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
you really gonna try that? Have a little sense about yourself. Stop being a follower and do your own research. And that's why I tell people all the time, you guys are already charging these high prices, for nails. You got to at least have the proper legal products. Because again, a lot of people watch me and know me and they don't even do nails. They're just learning from me. Like, wait a minute, what? Did I supposed to be using that? I'm like, nope. They supposed to be using a new file on me? I'm like, yeah. They have to be licensed? I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, do the right thing so you can sleep easily at night. And again, integrity. And that's in the Milady book.
Right.
In case no one told you, you got to have integrity to go further in this industry. And stop being a follower and do your own research. The FDA, Google it. They the one says it's illegal in all 50 states. Don't use it. It's not meant for the nails.
Yeah, absolutely, most definitely. Now, I want to ask this other question. What are some of the things you found most rewarding with being a nail educator?
What's rewarding is I have gift of gab,
Mhm.
and I love, as you can see, I love to talk. And what I love about it is people are really learning from me. They really respect me. Like, for real, I didn't know that. I'm like, girl, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm good at this educating thing. I didn't know. I just know how
Right.
to do
Yeah.
nails and do my own stilettos, and I just know how to do my own bling, and that's it. But
Right.
I'm like, okay, I'm really good at this gift of gab thing, and they really listen to me. So that keeps me also going and keep going and going, because eventually, they'll, save up enough to enroll. And that's my goal too, to let them understand that it's like a nurse. Like, you have to have a license, to be a nurse.
Right.
We're not just nail techs. We are licensed manicurists.
Right.
Like, we go, like, again, you go into school for 600 long hours, and you go up in front of the state board. It's two of them in Texas: the written part and then the practical part that makes you know how to sanitize and do this and do that. It's a good feeling to say I have a
Yeah.
license. There's no certifications. There's no such thing as certifications. You get a diploma from school. I give everybody a diploma. It's 600 hours, and then you go to state board and you pass, and you're gonna get a license. Like, that's a big
Yeah.
deal. A
Yeah.
license. I mean, for
Absolutely.
real, y'all, a license. That's a big deal. You just renew it every 2 years in Texas. Just pay a fee. Look at do 4 hours of continuing education hours and make sure you still understand the importance of sanitation, cross contamination. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, be smart. So that's a big flex. Like I tell everybody, that's a
Yeah.
flex. Got they hating family member, they hating auntie or whatever. Girl, I'm licensed. And what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I teach
Yeah.
my students. You got to have a flex. Like, you might not have anything else going for you in life, but that license, can't nobody take it away from
Absolutely.
you.
Agreed.
Just keep renewing it every 2 years, you'll be
Hmm.
fine. So yeah, that's a big flex, getting your
Yeah,
license.
totally. I want to get into the very last question. Where can people find Stay Ready Nail Studio and Stay Ready Nail Academy on social media? And how can people support your businesses?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. what's the other one? Snapchat. All name the same name all across the board. Stay Readiness Academy. Stay Readiness Academies I keep mostly, well not mostly, out of the school stuff. Stay Readiness Studio is the name of the product line, and my personal page where I talk about nails too a little bit, and my personality and different things on there. So you can find me on all of those platforms. And the website is Stay Readiness Academy.com, and it'll have a link there. You can ask about and see the information about how to enroll. Fill out a form, we'll contact you back. The phone number is there, the address is there. And I'm located in Houston, Texas, you guys. Houston, Texas, on the north side, right off of 45 and Greens Road. A nice, clean area, you know. So don't be like, oh, Greens Road. we okay, you know, because every city had, you know, every major city have a certain part of town they kind of like scared of. We okay over here. So 45 and Greens Road, Houston, Texas. That's where you can find me. And again, on all social media, Stay Readiness Academy.
All right, that's really, really incredible. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Cain, for jumping on. I really enjoyed our conversation. Thank you so much for your...
Thank you for having me. I appreciate
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely welcome. So I really enjoyed our conversation. I loved your insight and knowledge about the industry. It's definitely very, very needed. And it's a good refresher, too, to really keep things in mind, you know, especially in regards to safety and sanitation. That's very important. Just thank you so much again for sharing your story as well on how you got started and things of that nature. And, you know, I wish you all the best with everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms. And be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care, stay healthy, and stay beautiful. Bye-bye.